Yes.
How many of you have seen the gymnastics during the Olympics on TV? All of you, okay. Gymnastics can be a very exciting and amazing sport to watch. But when you watch it, do you ever think of really how much went into and how they got there in front of the whole world to see? I'm here to tell you what really goes into becoming an Olympic gymnast. Being a gymnast for 15 years, gymnastics has always been a passion of mine, and I've always looked up to those Olympic gymnasts, such as Carly Patterson, Shawn Johnson, and the new Gabby Douglas. It isn't as easy as one would think to make it to the Olympics. It is a very long process of competitions and qualifications to get all the way up to the gymnastics Olympic level. Gymnastics is a very, very time-consuming sport and requires a real life change if one really wants to go all the way to the Olympics. Gymnastics is also one of the most physically and mentally challenging sports and takes a lot of strength to push through all the obstacles and excel. I don't think people really realize how much goes into the sport, and I want you to be aware of how hard gymnastics is, and that's what I'm going to try and inform you about today. It takes many years of hard work, dedication, and drive to get to where they are on the TV for everyone to see and for all those little girls like I was to look up to. A gymnast must advance through 10 levels before becoming an elite gymnast, which then makes them eligible to compete for a spot on the national team. And once on the national team, gymnasts train and compete and to try and qualify for the Visa Championships, which happen every year. Top 8 girls at the Visa Championships then have a chance to compete for the Olympic team, and the top 6 girls go on to the Olympics. This vigorous process happens every 4 years. During the years in between, girls all around the world are training and competing in hope to one day be on the Olympic team. Being a year-round sport, gymnastics really takes up a lot of the time of a gymnast. It requires full commitment. There aren't many gymnastics facilities that have the equipment and the knowledgeable coaching staff to produce those Olympic gymnasts. So typically, the families and gymnasts have 3 choices. The first one would be to get up and move the entire family closer to a gym, which can be very hard and inconvenient for people with jobs and school. Second choice would be to commute. Like Michaela Maroney, who was an Olympic gymnast in 2012, would tell you that most of her time was spent on the interstate because she would commute to her gym. Most commonly, gymnasts will go live with other gymnasts who are close to the gym, and they won't live with their family while they're training to be in the Olympics. The average training day of an Olympic gymnast involves 8 hours of practicing per day, 6 days a week, so it's like a full-time job. With all those hours in the gym, there's no time for school, so typically they will be homeschooled and take classes in between the practice times. The gym really becomes their home once they train for the Olympics for all those years. Because of their young ages and their long, strenuous workouts, gymnastics can be very hard on the gymnast's underdeveloped body. The prime age for a gymnast is 14 to 18. This is when they have the most strength and they excel the quickest, but it's also the time that their bodies need to grow and develop. Being so active and the constant pounding on their bodies can lead to stunt growth, delay of puberty, and increased injury rates. The average height of a gymnast is 5 feet because the constant pounding on their bodies, it shrinks their whole body. That's my height. Gymnasts are known for not hitting puberty early. They usually get it after they stop gymnastics because they're so active all the time. And injuries are part of gymnastics, and any gymnast can tell you that. Not one gymnast has never had an injury. But if you really want to be at the Olympic level, you have to push through those injuries. And even after having surgery, a bunch of gymnasts come back. Not only is gymnastics physically demanding, it also has psychological effects. If a gymnast chooses to be away from the family and live with another gymnast, they can have a hard time concentrating on gymnastics because they miss their family and they can become sad and depressed. And with all these hours in the gym, they don't have a normal teen life, they don't socialize, they don't go out with friends, and that can be very frustrating. And that's typically when girls quit, is when they realize that they aren't having as much fun as the other people because they live in the gym. Gymnastics is all about striving for perfection, and discouragement is very very common in gymnastics because it's hard to reach perfection, and that's what the whole sport is geared towards. So it takes a lot of patience if you want to become an Olympic gymnast. Getting new tricks to move up is hard and can always be discouraging because once you get a move, you go on to the next thing. There's no cap. There's always something else that you could be doing. You may ask if they're hurting or if it takes too much time, why someone would want to revolve their life around gymnastics. And it is the love and the passion for the sport that pushes people through. They work so hard for so many years, and there was a reason in the first place that they're there, so they stick with it. And it is the vision of themselves standing on that podium in the Olympics that makes them really go for their goals. Now you know how much work goes behind the routines you see on TV during the Olympics. The training, dedication, physical and mental strength that gymnasts need pushes them through the many years of training. This vigorous process in becoming an Olympic gymnast can be very hard for anybody to even fathom. I hope that in 2016, when you're flipping through the channels and come across the next 6 girls on the Olympic team, you'll see more than the minute routines they perform and know how much time and energy that was put into